afternoon, everyone, and welcome to episode 55 of MSME Masterclass. We are privileged to have Mr. Neelesh Dabholkar, proprietor of Infinity Consultants, with us today. He is a distinguished structural consultant with over 2 decades of stellar career. Mr. Dabholkar holds a BE in Civil Engineering from Bombay University, a foundation that has empowered him to collaborate with some of the most prominent developers and architects in Mumbai and Navi Mumbai. His expertise encompasses high-rise residential towers, industrial plans, and significant international projects, including the iconic Prison Tower in Dubai and the Sultan Qaboos Hospital in Oman. One of Mr. Dabholkar's notable contributions to the construction industry has been in pre-engineered buildings, where his innovative approach has been instrumental in transforming warehousing solutions across India. His deep understanding of cost-effective, sustainable construction methods tailored specifically for India's burgeoning infrastructure needs makes his insights invaluable. Today, Mr. Dabholkar will share his expertise on how PEBs are revolutionizing warehousing, offering solutions that meet the demands of modern industries. His extensive experience in India and internationally promises to provide us with a comprehensive perspective on the future of warehousing solutions. We are pleased to have you, sir, today. Welcome on our episode.
Yeah, good afternoon, ma'am. Neelesh here. Yeah.
Neelesh, our first question to you, since the topic that we are addressing today is PEBs for warehousing solutions, my first question to you is, what are the challenges you have experienced at the start of the construction of any project?
Yes, any project which is going to get started at site. So first of all, the design stage and all the conceptualization, it is happening at the client stage and with the client and us, our architects and consultants. And then as soon as we start at the site, as soon as the work is taken off at the site. So what actually we found the problem is that the site, if it is within the city, so it is having a area constraint. So in a very short area, we have to do a lot of activities. So that is the first activity which is creating problem for us in the city area. And if we are going out of the city, so spaces are available, ample of spaces are available, but then the connection wise, we have to just see that whether all the material and the labor, whether we can move it easily at that particular location or not. That is the one big challenge which we are facing. Because if the site is at a hilly terrain or the mountainous region, so road accessibility is becoming a problem for moving the material and the labor to that particular location. As far as the material and labor are concerned, so that challenges we can just get rid of by transportations or so. And then these are the challenges which we cater. And the third point which I found the problem is that at any barren land, there is no electric connections, first of all. So we have to make the connections at its position, and then only you can start the things. So material and labor, it cannot work unless and until you have the electricity at site. So this is a major problem which we are facing at the start of the project. So that is why we are always saying that the technology should advance to such an extent that these are the initial problems that should get rid of. And that is the reason why PEBs are getting so much popular in the coming days. And whatever the technological advancement that is coming up, and that is what is giving benefit to the people. So that's what about the first part of the session.
And Neelesh, can you also tell us how do you see the present construction methodology changing?
Right now I am working with many developers in the residential, commercial, as well as in the industrial projects. So in all these things, what I have seen, we are working on the RCC projects, RCC buildings. So early stage when I started my career, so that time in the early 90s, we were doing the designs of RCC buildings like 7-story to 12, 15-story, something like that. So that time we used to go with the material like shuttering ka material jo rehta tha na. So that was wooden material we used to use, plywood, and then the box sections of the wooden box section, something like that we used to use. But then afterward, the trend has been changed, and then we started using the steel plates as a formwork, shuttering, something like that. And then now the trend has, if you will see that at that particular time in early 90s, we were having the building of 7-story to 14-story, and now if you will see, it is going from 30-story to 40, 50-story, like that it is going. So of course, the technological changes we have to adopt. And then material wise, if you will see, we were using earlier wooden shuttering or the timber shuttering, then we changed to steel shuttering, and now if you will see, we are using the Maiwan shuttering. So Maiwan shuttering is giving you faster construction, and speed of the construction we are achieving very fast. So Maiwan shuttering is again aluminum shuttering. So we are changing from wooden to steel, steel to aluminum, and this is what the advancement you can see. So wooden shuttering will not have that much kind of repetitions. Steel shuttering is again having some limitations from the speed point of view. And aluminum shuttering, if you will see, it has nut and bolting system, and then you can just move it from one place to the another place. So it is becoming faster. So construction speed is going at a higher rate, and you can construct even 50-story building within a very short periods, which was very difficult at the time when we were at the early 90s. So this is what the technological or method or the construction methodology changes which we have seen from shuttering or material wise. And then now if you will see in terms of the material, in terms of the steel, in terms of steel also we were using earlier grade 250 in the early 90s or so. Now if you will see that 350 grade material is very much available in the market. So sometimes it is happening that 250 grade is not available, but 350 grade ka material with plates, everything is readily available. So sometimes you will find that 250 grade material is costlier than the 350 material. So something like that is happening. So it is all depend on the demand and the supply of the market. So it is all depending on that. And of course earlier we were using the rolled sections. Rolled sections means like ISMB, ISMC, angles. So something like that we were using. Nowadays, if you will see, now NPB section has become very popular, which is having the better strength properties, better grade, and of course it has a wide variety of the section sizes. Then UC sections, universal column sections, universal beam sections, these are available. So which is really helping us to accommodate the various requirements of the design. So these are the changes which I could see in the construction methodology which has come up after during the course of the years, since last 90s to now 24 till 2024.
And Neelesh, can you also tell our attendees how are construction materials used differently nowadays, especially in steel works?
In steelworks, yeah. In 90s, we were using the ISMB, ISMC channels and angles, all that rolled sections only we were using. Nowadays, if you will see that the sections which we are now using, apart from these NPBs, UC and UB, which I have told just now, apart from that, we have the customized sections which we can use. These are formed by the plates. Okay. So depending on the requirement of the design, you can just change the shape of the section. Means it will not be uniform throughout the length, but you can just change the depth as per your requirement, or width also you can change as per the requirement. So that customized sections you can do it. So that is what is the advancement as compared to the earlier available sections. This is the best available sections which available built-up sections is the great advancement in these particular material sections, I would say.
And now talking about the key benefits, can you highlight the key benefits of using PEBs for warehousing in India?
Key benefits in the case of PEBs, we can use it for the warehousing industry. I have done most of the work in the warehouses. Means like from 5,000 square feet to 50,000 square feet, 1 lakh square feet. Also, I have used these warehousing. I have used these PEB sections for the warehouses. And apart from that, what I have seen that we are having the advantage of using in the residential commercial also we are using sometimes. Because what happens now, if suppose you have a place or you have a site, you have a plot, which is suppose in a green space or in a CRZ space, means it's near to the coastal region. So you don't get the permission for the construction to build there. Okay. So in that case, what happens now? We are constructing residential residences like one living room, kitchen, and then bedroom. Like that, we are just making it in a small section, and then we are just completing it in the workshop, and then we are transporting it to the site. So what happens now? Whatever the site activities, which I already told you that whatever the site grievances at the start of the project, no, for taking it off. So that is getting rid of, and then you can directly get the space for living there in a very short period. So that is what the good advantage which we are getting because of the PEB. This is the one aspect of the PEB from the residential point of view, and the another aspect from the warehousing point of view is we can do the things very faster, because see, in warehouses what happens, no, you need more spaces as a clear spaces. Okay, so in that case, for getting more spaces, you have to have more spans, approximately 8 meter to 10 meter spans we are using for the warehousing industry, warehouse constructions. And in that, if you will go for the RCC or any other conventional method, no, so you will find that the material consumption for that particular type of projects, it is going to be very high in terms of the conventional works. But if you will go with the PEB, no, you can achieve a lot of economy in that. So one thing I could see that PEB is giving you a lot of economy in the structure, and of course, from the point of view of the speed, if you will ask me, so speed wise, you are getting all the things done at the workshop, and in workshop you are getting better quality, better speed, better labor, skilled labor you are getting, and everything is happening in a very systematic manner. So that gives you even good quality also. So these are the benefits of using the PEBs. So you are achieving better quality, you are achieving better speed. So these are the basic fundamental requirements of the industry, and which is getting fulfilled by the PEB. Okay, and one more thing I would like to highlight here. See what happens now. If suppose now you wanted to construct a warehouse, and now conceptualize, everything has been conceptualized, designed, and everything has been done. Okay, now the thing is that you have to start first the construction of the foundations, right? So construction of the foundations cannot be in steel, it is below the ground. Okay, so for the substructure, these kind of structures, when we are starting the work, so you have to actually get the excavator there, and then you have to excavate the material from the ground, and then you have to do the PCC, then soling, and then doing the foundation casting completion, and then you are erecting the columns for the superstructure to rest it on it. Okay, so that activities, whatever time it takes, if you will see that if suppose you will take 25,000 square feet of the area, and for that, if suppose you require 15 days of time for the construction of the foundations and columns and everything, which is below the ground level, so that construction will take almost 15 to 20 days time for the construction. But as you have completed the design part of the PEB, so that part you can simultaneously start at the fabrication yard. That is the biggest advantage of the project, because what happens now, if suppose you are going conventionally, so what will happen, you will have to do the foundation first, and then you will have to make the leveling of the ground level, and then you can allocate the space for fabrication of the superstructure. So it takes some more time for us to start actually the fabrication work, whereas in the PEB work, what happens now, all these things are happening simultaneously at the fabrication yard when the foundation is going on. So both the activities are going parallel, and then as soon as you reach to the ground level with the RCC columns, which is going to take this superstructure steel work, so that time you are ready with the fabrication in the workshop, and that you can just bring it here and you can start doing the erections. And erections for the steel is very fast as compared to the conventional one, because everything you have the systematic way to do it. see, sequence of construction, sequence of fabrication, sequence of erection, everything is properly planned before doing any conceptualization. So that's the best part of it. So during the erection, everything is systemized, and then everything is coming in place as per the scheduled things. Okay, so your time is saved, and then your labor is also getting very much optimized, or you can use it with with more efficiency. Your people are working at site. Otherwise, what happens? No, if the conventional people, if you will go, no, then there are no much skilled labor available at site. Then they have to walk from one place to the another place and getting the things done. So conventional projects, it is going to get delayed just because of poor manpower, or for the transportation from one place to another place, or the logistics. It takes a lot of time. But here in PEB, you will see that the logistics is very fast, and then everything is going very fast. So that is how you are going ahead with the PEB in a very faster way for the warehousing industry. And of course, in warehousing industry, what happens? So you will see that there are a lot of repetitions which is happening. Repetitions are more, so that is one most important part of the PEB, because once the repetitions are more, no, then your PEB works very well. It saves you your lot of time as far as the warehousing is concerned. Whereas if the same thing is applicable for the residential or the commercial, no, then if the system is not if the system is not symmetric, or if the system is skew shaped, or some irregular shapes building are there, no, then PEB doesn't work to that extent good, because your variations of every sections, or the lengths of the every sections will be different. Then PEB will not help you to that extent. So that is what is about the benefits of PEB in the warehousing industry.
And could you also tell us what are the cost implications of implementing PEBs for MSMEs?
Cost implications. See, I already told you that you are saving a lot of saving the material as far as the PEB is concerned, because whatever section requirement is there, accordingly you are reducing the sizes of the sections. Okay. I remember earlier in 1990s when the first project came from the Kirby. Kirby is you might be knowing, Kirby is a company who actually did a lot of work in the PEB works. So that time we were doing the conventional designs as a truss and all these things, and we were having approximately tonnage as suppose 6 kg per square feet or 7 kg per square feet approximate. I'm telling you just the consumption. But then when we received this Kirby design, no, so for the same area, their consumption was almost 3 kg per square feet. Okay, so it was almost a reduction of 50%, you can say, from the quantity point of view. But of course, what happens now? Quantity we are reducing, but the quality of the project means if you will see the material of that particular thing is of a higher grade, 350 grade, and here in conventional case we are going with the 250. So even though the quantity wise, if it is reducing by 50%, then also cost wise it is not reducing 50%. It might be something around 40% or 30%, something like that, because there are a lot of quality people are required for this PEB to happen. Okay, so for that quality and for that material also, you will require somewhat slightly extra cost than the conventional one. But of course, in material you are saving, so that's why you can say that overall there will be cost saving in the PEB as compared to the traditional. Okay, but of course, if I'll consider another example. Suppose I have a 1 lakh square feet of warehouse. Okay, which is a typical one. You have the typical grades, and then typically you are going ahead. So there you will save a lot of things. But if suppose you have 1 lakh square feet of building which is in a irregular shape, so in that case PEB will become slightly costlier than this, because PEB will not work that efficiently in this particular building, in the irregular shape building. So that is what the difference is, and we have to just make sure that where we are applying PEB is correct or not, because when I remember one of my project, I was doing it for one of the electrical company, which is a very renowned company. So architect and the client, they were told that if you will go with the PEB, normal commercial building also you can do it in 3-4 months time. You can finish everything, and it was only 15 to 20,000 square feet of area. But then I told them that, see, this is not a typical building which is like a PEB kind of a thing, wherein you can get the repetitions and then you can do the construction very fast. And but they denied that, and then they said नहीं नहीं ये होता है ऐसा उन्होंने किया था. And I remember that project took almost 2 years time for the completion. So PEB you cannot apply everywhere. In the commercial building where it's a irregular shape, no, there you cannot apply it. But of course, warehousing industry is the best industry for PEB to apply it. That's how it is.
Understood. Got it. Could you also share your insights and give us a couple of examples on how can businesses leverage PEBs to meet increasing warehousing demands?
Suppose one of the industry is having some particular size of the factory. Okay. Now, if suppose they wanted to expand it to a next level, means suppose now they have suppose 50,000 square feet at this moment, and if they wanted to expand it further 50,000. So from one end, you can just start doing the expansion, and you can do it at along the length of the warehouse. You can just go ahead and you can increase the capacity of the complete warehouse. So that way you can increase the capacity of the existing business or existing warehouse. So that will help in improving the productivity and of course the business profits of the businesses.
Okay. And can you also share with us what are the typical timelines for PEB construction, be it warehousing or any other sort of construction that happens?
I told you already what happens now, as soon as you start the foundation works. So foundation works, if suppose I'll take 50,000 or 1 lakh square feet of the warehousing industry. So if 1 lakh square feet, so almost a month's time is going to be taken for the construction of the foundations and coming up to the ground level. Okay, 1.5 months is required for finishing the substructure work. And then after the completion of the substructure work, parallelly your workshop work is going on with the fabrication. Okay, so that fabrication work, once it is started there, so 1.5 months, if suppose it is taking for the completion of the structure, and 1.5 months, I think it will get completed your fabrication and everything, and another 15 to 20 days will be required for the erection. So almost in 2.5 months, you can say that the most of the projects should get over from the finishing point of view and everything. So that is what the timelines which I could see. 2.5 months, or if at all they have some problem, then maximum 3 months time will be the timelines required for the PEB to complete any kind of a projects. If suppose your size is suppose instead of 1 lakh, if it is 2 lakh square feet, so you can just deploy more hydra, more machineries. Even in the workshop also, in workshop CNC machines are used, then plate cutting machines are used, then pug machines are used. So all these machines are used for suppose 1 lakh square feet, and if you have something suppose bigger area, so you can just add some more machines, and then you can increase your output, your efficiency can get increased. So that is how you can achieve more efficiency. Even though the scale is widened, then also you can just use the additional manpower, additional machinery, and you can get the things done in a very short period. That is what I could see in the case of PEBs.
And can you also tell us how are PEBs supporting sustainability and energy efficiency?
Yes, PEB structures are very, very sustainable structures. See, steel material, as far as the steel material is concerned, no, steel is very good from the durability point of view. Okay, and of course, this construction is happening under controlled atmosphere in the workshop. So what happens now? in the controlled atmosphere, whatever the treatments happened on the surfaces of the steel, like sandblasting, like first layer of the painting or first coat of the primer, then painting. All these things are happening with a very quality material, with even with quality machines. Okay, so whatever you are getting the product, which is a very good quality and it is having a good sustainability as far as the durability is concerned. And of course, from the point of view of energy efficiency means are you asking me about from the carbon emission point of view? So if it is carbon emission point of view, then what I can say that, see, steel material you can reuse it at many times. Okay, now if suppose you have a factory at suppose at Dahej, and if you wanted to shift that factory from Dahej to suppose Ahmedabad, so what you can do, you can just remove the nut bolting and everything, and then you can just place take it from there and then just place it at the Ahmedabad. So you will see that you are not wasting your material. So once you are using the material which is recycled, so your energy emission, your carbon emission is getting reduced substantially. And even if you find that the material is somewhat deteriorated to some extent, so you can apply some kind of a strengthening or something like that, or the surface treatments you can apply. So from the perspective of strengthening also, from the perspective of maintaining also, from the perspective of reusing the material also, you will find that this is working very well. And even in the residential cases, if right now I told you that about the residential houses, you can do it with the PEB. So living room, kitchen, and then bedroom, that we can do it. Now recently we have supplied one particular like that we have supplied one particular sales office which was of around 300 square feet, sales office to Raymond Realty in Thane. So they are using this material, this particular product at that particular Thane area. Now, if suppose they wanted to shift it at the other location where their construction activity is going to take place, so they will shift it to the Bandra or some other locations wherein you are all inside material or inside finishing items, which is going to remain as it is, as intact, and it will be just shifted to the another location. So the people, those who are using the material using the houses here or using the sales office here, they can use the sales office at the another site also. So that is the best advantage of this particular thing. So that's how you can reuse the material and you can have the efficiency of the materials in the industry.
And how can businesses ensure quality and reliability through these PEB construction methodologies?
So regarding the quality and reliability, see, now once the vendor has been finalized, who is going to do the fabrication? Okay, so all the work related to the steel fabrication is going to happen in the workshop itself. Okay, so workshop has its own system of the working from the cutting point of view, from the welding point of view, from all the aspects are taken care in the workshop. So the client or the PMC agencies, so those who are checking the quality of the quality for the client, they can visit the workshop. They can make a checklist that what test you have to adopt or we have to conduct on the material which is fabricated, and then they can execute it at the workshop itself. Okay, so as soon as the workshop test has been done and the client's PMC has been satisfied or the client is satisfied, then the material can move to the site. So you do not get any kind of hindrances or any kind of problems at site that your material is a substandard or something like that, because all the things, all the checks, everything is happening at workshop itself. So that's why you are getting flawless projects completion and quality is assured at site.
Got it. Could you also tell us how can businesses ensure the common pitfalls are avoided when adopting PEBs?
see, as far as the connections are concerned, see what happens now. Some projects are having the aesthetical requirement. Okay. Now, I'm not talking only about the warehousing. I'm talking about now the commercial buildings. See, some of the buildings in India also, if you will see now, are coming up in steel. Now, in steel structure, what happens now? The connections from the perspective of the ductility is becoming very critical. Okay, because ductility, see, steel material is good in ductility. Okay, but its connections has to achieve that particular ductility while transferring from one section to the another section. So that becoming a challenge, and the connection to achieve that ductility is becoming a challenge, or you can say that it takes a major area, or the connection of that particular section, no, it becomes very robust. So that is one challenge which I could see that it is happening in the case of steel structure if you are using it for the commercial purposes or from the residential purposes for the high rises, I am saying. For the small 1 or 2 floors, it's okay. Means you do not face any problem as such from the connection point of view. But for the high rises, in the case of commercial buildings, you will find that the connections are becoming robust. And another aspect which I am going through is see, we have used PEB structures now for almost all the kinds of things. Means residential we have used, we are applying. For the commercial also we are applying. For the industrial also we are applying. Now in industries, sometimes it is happening that there are gantry movements are there. And once the gantry movements are there, no, then there are a lot of vibrations happening because of the electrically operated gantries. So it has the capacities of these gantries can be 50 tons or 100 tons or something like that. Okay, and the vibrations due to this, no, that has to get absorbed in the by the PEB sections. So there it might happen, because see what happens now, as compared to the conventional sections, PEB sections are very lighter, very compact sections we are using as compared to the conventional system. So what happens now, when your section sizes are becoming lesser and lesser and lesser, now that time your structure is becoming more kind of susceptible for the vibrations. So when we are going for the gantries or something like that structure design, no, then your vibrations are becoming a challenge. So that is one big pitfall which I could see that for the using of the PEBs in the industry. So connection wise and then the vibration wise, these are the two things which I am finding. Sometimes I am not going with the PEBs. That is what is my conclusion about the PEB structure.
Now
Yes.
let's talk about operational efficiency. Neelesh, can you tell us how can PEBs enhance operational efficiency in warehousing?
Yes. Operational efficiency. See, operational efficiency means warehouses generally demands very high heights. Means for the Indigo Paints factory, we have used almost 30-meter height. Means almost 100 feet height we have done the design for. So these are heights. Okay, and then the span. If suppose your span of the clear span of the warehouse, suppose it is 50 meter. So we have done some structures which is having 40 to 50 meter span, which are without columns. Okay, only at the ends you can see the column, but it is all free. So that is giving the efficiency to the owner, that you can have the stackings for the warehouses, or you can have the movements as per their requirement. So it is a column free space. Okay, so you can have the bigger areas for planning to do as per the client's requirement. Okay, and of course in the warehouses, no, there are two types of transportations happening. One is plan transportation, horizontal transportation, and another one is a vertical transportation. See, stacks are placed one above the another. Okay, and if you wanted to take out the material which is at a 30 meter, which is at around 25 to 30 meter, so you have to have the robotic movements around that. So that robotic movements and everything has to be flawlessly moved all in all the areas. So from that perspective, PEB is really helping us a lot, because we are getting the higher heights we can achieve, and then more spaces we can achieve. clear spaces we can achieve. So that's what the operational, it enhances the operational efficiency in the warehousing.
Can you also tell us, Neelesh, what are the maintenance considerations when we use PEBs for any sort of construction?
Maintenance. Okay. See, PEB construction is happening under the controlled kind of environment, no? So I didn't see much kind of maintenance it requires. Only thing is that from the perspective of suppose from the perspective of leakages, you can say, because whatever purlins we are using now, it is a very slick purlins we are using, and with the PEBs we are slightly going for a higher kind of allowance for the deflections and everything we are going with. It's just 2 mm ka या फिर 1.5 mm ka thickness of the purlins we are using. So these are more susceptible for the vibrations or for the kind of deflections, you can say. So in that particular perspective, no, you need some kind of a maintenance from the leakage point of view if the leakages are happening, because we are taking very small or shallow slope as far as the roofing is concerned. So 5-degree slope we are using, and in that 5-degree slope, if suppose some kind of a deflections, if it is going beyond the permissible limit, or the load is somewhat added afterward, which are not taken into the design, and then if it is added afterward, so there are chances that the sagging or some kind of deflections are going to be taken place, and because of which ponding can happen at the roof level, and that ponding might create again further deflections, and then it might create a problem. So there you will need some kind of a maintenance. So that is what I could see, that the maintenance is required from the PEB point of view. Otherwise, I don't see for any other regions you need any kind of a maintenance. Of course, but painting or some kind of these things, minimum maintenance that will be required to keep the things in a better aesthetically. So that is what I could say about the maintenance, but it comes very less as compared to the conventional or as compared to the RCC works.
Okay, and my last question to you, Neelesh, for today is important one, and I'd like for attendees to hear more about this from you in terms of how can PEBs improve supply chain management.
Yes, regarding the PEBs improving the supply chain management, what I could see that from the PEB perspective, see, any businessman wanted to start their business as fast as possible, because their earning will start after the completion of the warehouse or the PEB works, or as soon as they will be in their place and they will start their operations. Okay, so their intention is to reduce the cost, reduce the time of construction. As soon as they are getting the possession of the plot, they wanted to do it fast, and then they wanted to start their activities at a very shorter period. So from that perspective, PEB is helping to even start your activities within 3 months time. I already told you, that in 1 month's time, for any 1 lakh square feet of the development, you can do it in a 3 months time, from the foundation level to the finishing level. Okay, so this time period, once we are reducing it to substantially, so that really helps the people to start their businesses fast. Okay, and that is how you can get the better supply chain management, and that is how it helps the businessmen.
Thank you so much, Neelesh. It was really lovely having you today on this episode. We are certain that our attendees would have learned a lot of things that they were not aware of with regards to PEB's usage in warehousing. So thank you once again.
Thanks a lot. Okay.
For our attendees who are online, if you'd like to see any of our previously shot episodes, or if you've missed any part of the current episode, you can go on YouTube, type JSW One MSME, and you will find all the episodes uploaded there. Thank you once again, Neelesh. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot. Okay.